started. Welcome, everybody. So research has shown repeatedly that the value of video in the classroom. And when we show videos in class, we want our students to watch actively rather than passively, and to comprehend and not just consume. When it comes to video, students shouldn't just get it. They should also have something to say about it. Whether it's to enhance a lesson or to be the lesson, the options are endless. Did you know that there are over 1 billion YouTube users, and there are over 300 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every single day? It's amazing. There are so many wonderful videos already out there. So I hope you're finding those and using them from YouTube or Khan Academy or Vimeo or even more. But to engage students even further, teachers are taking advantage of creating their own videos now more than ever. It's personal and it works. So thank you for joining us today as we showcase Fayette County teachers. They are all creating in so many different ways and for different purposes. So now it's time to sit back, relax, see examples, hear from teachers, and remember, you should not sit passively either. So feel free to use that chat box down in the bottom and engage with our presenters and praise them and ask lots of questions. So I'm going to actually kick us off today. I'm going to put this bit.ly in the chat box for you, but this is the presentation that we will be using today. And if I thought you might want to have this to keep, because it is a plethora of resources, and you'll have access to all of the tools that our presenters are using as well. So I'm going to kick off a little bit differently by sharing a video with you.
With the virtual school year winding down, some teachers are trying to figure out how to keep their students engaged. LX18's Kristen Edwards shows us how one Fayette County educator may have cracked the code.
Today, you're going to be taught by the mad scientist.
For the past 5 weeks, Mr. Lacefield has dressed to impress.
The reaction's been fantastic.
Almost every day, there's a new lesson and a new super character.
I think they've been more surprised than anything with some of the costumes that I've been able to come up with.
But it isn't too hard when you have 3 kids and therefore a closet full of costumes.
And then at the top, we have our costume wigs and props and everything.
Pieces that make his lesson so engaging, they're even attracting kids who aren't in his 4th grade class.
One of the girls in class, her middle school sister, will sit at the table with her because they're excited to see what I might be dressed up as.
And he says it's getting them excited to learn as well.
I want them to feel that I'm doing something special for them, and I feel like anytime that you can make a kid feel special, they're more inclined to, be involved and be invested in it.
And above all, he's trying to make his students smile when it may otherwise be hard to.
I want the kids to feel like we care. To be able to be like, that was tough, but, our teachers, I'm good. Our teachers helped us get through this tough time.
Through it with flying colors.
As always, have fun learning, and I might see you next time.
Kristen Edwards, LX18 News.
And now I have to applaud. It's excited, and I get emotional when I watch it too. But what a great way to connect with our students while we can't be with them in the classroom. So our first guest, I would like to introduce Mr. Shad Lacefield from Garden Springs Elementary. Mr. Lacefield, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Thank you so much.
Yay! I've watched this a million times, and I watch his YouTube channel every single day. We were actually just watching a science one on Waves, was it? It's
Yes.
so cool. And so this image will actually take you to his YouTube channel, and you can see there are, oh goodness, do you know how many videos you have now?
When it comes to the lessons that I've taught, I want to say there's maybe around 45 or 46 lessons that are on there. Each lesson is made up of 3 different videos: an intro with content and the character, Second video is usually more along the lines of the lesson that day, trying to present it quickly. Usually most of those videos are under 2 minutes. And then the final video will be about the activity that the kids are doing, maybe a short tutorial that shows them how to turn it in, how to do a screenshot, how to use the Google Doc correctly to insert different drawings or images, and yeah, those types of things.
I love it. And so what is your overall purpose in creating your videos?
Yeah, so I think early on, I really felt as though when my first couple of videos were just very generic, and I did a Wacky Wednesday dressed as Spider-Man, and they got, kids ended up really, really loving it. And so I felt as though that was a good opportunity to be like, well, I have a massive amount of costumes, as you can see from the video, from my kids, and also from teaching. As you guys know, we have tons of dress up weeks and stuff, and so I'll have costumes from then. And I was like, I'll just start using everyone that I can and anyone that I can to come up with new characters and try to get the kids excited. So that way it's each day they never know what I'm going to be or what I might dress up as. Something else that wasn't in the video that I kind of talked about was I like how I can make the characters connect to my content. So as part of my thinking process, after I've set up my lesson plan, I'll go to the closet of costumes and I'll think about which character can best implement that instruction, so that way there's some sort of connection. This week we're talking about visualizing sound, and so I immediately thought video games would be great, because video games and people that are sound engineers in video games have to visualize and think of what does this sound look like when they're attaching a sound to different parts of the game, and what might be happening to characters in that game. And so I've been dressing up as Mario, Luigi, and then today I was Princess Peach, and just trying to connect it in that way, and then acting out what's happening.
I love it.
Yeah, and so again, I know that I can't reach every kid, but our church that we go to has this big thing where we talk about do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. And with that mindset, it was like, I'm going to be able to work with we have 62 kids in our fourth grade, or in my fourth grade science class. And I was like, this would be a really cool way to, at the end of everything, make them think that was awesome. Like, I remember what it was like during this crazy NTI time. And that was fun. Like, I enjoyed that a lot.
These are awesome. What tools do you use to create your videos?
Yeah, so InShot is an app that I found. I was trying to research when I was making my videos initially, an app that I could just do everything from my phone, both record, edit. I have 3 kids that are at home with me right now, and so I don't have a ton of time to sit behind like a Chromebook or a computer and just edit and do things. So I needed to be able to like go outside and walk around and do that at the same time. And InShot's been great. I have a little InShot in under 8 minutes tutorial that I made for you guys that can kind of show you and walk you through what it looks like to kind of do it in real time.
Yes, and it's a great tutorial. I was playing with it earlier. Thank you so much for doing that. And what's been your reaction from your students or your parents?
Yeah, they've loved it. Parents as well. I've tried to pull in some characters that parents will like I was Bob Ross not too long ago, and that was probably the parents' favorite character that I was so far. I know it was my mom's because she's been watching them. And so, like I said, they've loved it, and they'll respond to my pictures, because I also, with each character, we message parents in the morning via Class Dojo. And so I'll take a picture of my character dressed up with a Zoom background and send it to parents with a funny little thing saying about coming in to help. And parents will use that point to message and respond and send me messages and things. And so that's been really, really fun to hear. Like I said, it's good for kids, but parents. And then also with the middle school kid and her sister, them both sitting down, I've actually been contacted by a college friend as well, that her and her kids, they homeschool, but because I post on Facebook as well, just like a quick overview of what characters I've done, they've been finding and now subscribed to my YouTube channel. And even though they're homeschooling, they watch and they do my lessons as well during this time. So that was kind of fun to think someone in another state is watching and doing it.
I love it. And my last question is, how hard is it for you? How difficult is it for you to complete these videos? Do you feel like it's a lot more work, or is it exciting, engaging work?
I feel like it's exciting, engaging work. It definitely would be quicker just to do a video and show it. But I feel like the participation and the response that the kids are getting would not be the same at all. And again, just thinking about, how to make it fun. I feel like in my normal classroom, they have a level of expectation of like the silly things that I might do. And so this is kind of a way for me to transition that into online learning and still do fun and engaging, silly things with them in this format. Even though it might be different, I can still try to do my part to implement that fun, engaging atmosphere.
I love it. Yay, thank you so much. So guys, I did put the bit.ly to this slide deck in the chat box, and I'll show it again at the end. But on Chad's slide, you can see a link to his YouTube channel, as well as to the tool InShot that he uses, as well as the tutorial on how you can create these videos with your cell phone as well. If you have any questions for Chad, please put those in the chat box, and as we watch our next video, I will answer those or ask those questions to him as well. Thank you so much. I love it. Our next group are our Stonewall kindergarten teachers. So welcome to Hannah, Joy, Hillary, Haley, and McKenna. And so a quick glimpse into one of their videos. Or if you want to sing it out loud, you can do that too.
You can turn tap into tape, or you can turn can into paint. I'm gonna teach you all about it today, cause you're the smartest kiddos out there. Or you can turn hawk into hope. What about not into note? I tell you about it now, it ain't no joke. And you're the smartest kiddos out there. Silent U takes the short vowel in his hands. With his magic wand, he has different plans. Changes the short vowel into a long. Come on, everybody, now sing along. Silent E, silent E. How important you are me. Silently hold the key. Silent E, silent E. On the end, you don't make a sound. Your silence filters are so profound. And I promise that you'll never find another like silent E.
I love it. Who's the songwriter of the group? I have to know.
Haley.
That was me for this one, but we've all played a part in writing songs.
I love this. And so again, I've linked to their virtual classroom, and I hope everybody will check their videos out. They also have made an appearance on the news, and I have that linked as well. I was going to end with it today, but make sure everybody checks out their new appearance on the news. So guys, tell us, what's your purpose, the tools you use, your reaction from your families?
Well, our purpose was obviously just to keep the kiddos learning from a distance. And as you can see, we do not know how to sing, and we don't really care. We just have fun in the classroom, and the kids think we're movie stars every day because they're 5. So we just wanted to keep that up. And, some of the parents at home, are used to like maybe more traditional ways, or it's easier for them. So we thought putting the videos out there would help them get up and move and dance and sing and hear that repetition. So
I love it. And what tools do you use to create your videos?
So we record our videos on like an iPhone or a laptop, and then we've been uploading them to iMovie, and that's where we edit them and add the lyrics so that they can learn the words and sing along at home.
I love it. And what's been the reaction from your parents and your students?
Well, I think our kiddos have loved it. We've gotten quite a few videos back from kids either singing the song or singing it while they're doing their work. And so I think they've really liked it, and we wanted, to keep them engaged and use a lot of movement, and I think they've been able to do that with these videos. So
I love it. What else can you share? What else have your or do you think you'll continue this once you're back in the classroom?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were talking earlier, like next year we're going to be set. We've got these videos and we're ready to roll.
This is awesome. So I did pull up their site, their virtual classroom, and I hope you all check it out. It's so many different resources. The one about the nickel, the change is really funny too. I love it. I love them all. Great work, guys. These are phenomenal. And I have to shout out, I love that you're letting your kids send selfies in and make that connection as well. These are great. Any questions so far for our Stonewall kindergarten teachers? I think everybody's explaining so well. There are no questions. Okay, we'll keep thinking. Ask at any time. Okay, our next presenter is Miss Carrie Patrick. She teaches at Frederick Douglass High School. Carrie, are you here?
Hey there.
Hey, Carrie. And so Carrie has a different approach, which I can't wait to share. And here is a quick example. My connection's being really slow. I wonder if somebody else is streaming in the house. Okay, here we go.
Hey everyone. I wanted to take a second to give out some NTI awards as we finish up our second week of NTI and tell you to keep up the good work. So our first award for Best Email Communicator, who does a great job communicating with me via email and keeping me up to date on how she's doing and what she needs, is Krista. All right, next, for someone who cut their own hair.
Carrie, I'm going to mute and let you talk over and tell us what we're seeing. Tell us about your video.
Yeah, so it's not super techy or anything, but I basically just kind of went through and started thinking about like different ways that I could honor the students and keep them engaged, because at the high school level, it has been a little bit harder to keep them engaged. And so one day my husband and I were talking and he was like, well, he works at Center College and we both went to Center College. And so the president, I guess, had been doing like on staff meetings, awards for like best Zoom background. And I was like, like what can I do like that? And so I was like, well, can be simple. And this last one was awesome because I did an assignment where students had to make a comparison with a character from Macbeth to some other character in another show, movie, TV, anything that they've like read or seen. And so a student came up with a comparison comparing Lady Macbeth to Carol from Tiger King. And I was like, I have to honor these like things that are happening, because in class, like you would normally like kind of bring it up like as an example or, you know, like build that community. And so I wanted to like let everyone else know about the awesome things that they were doing, because it seems like I'm seeing, you know, fun things or I'm hearing from them. And I wanted to give them, you know, honor the work that they're doing and also honor, you know, those fun things that you normally say to them in class, like the girl who just got a puppy. You know, in class, they would be like, look, I got a puppy. And so now they're telling you on Zoom, like, here's my puppy. So.
And I love the best Zoom hair. I wonder, was that a hard decision? This is such a great way and another great use of videos. It doesn't have to be just a whole hour-long lesson or a promotional. This is just a way to get your kids excited and wanting to jump on, and I love it. What tools did you use to create?
I just used Screencast-O-Matic, which for that first one, it didn't like cut very well, but I played around with it the second time, and that's super simple. And I just Googled like Google Slides awards template and changed it to Douglas colors to make it look a little bit more official. And it was neat because I had students like emailing me like, thank you for my award, I love it. And I just think that that's really cool, because I know that most days our kids are struggling like to be engaged and excited, and they were really appreciative. And then I sent it out, like, so I've been doing it every 2 weeks. So when I sent it out the second time, it was almost like kids were like waiting to see, because I kept like teasing it. I'll be like, on Friday, I'll be sending out your next awards show. And kids seem to be waiting to see, like, did I get an award?
So they're just tuning in to see. I love it. You answered our next question, what their response has been. I love it. That's awesome. So much fun. And on Carrie's second slide, I also linked examples to Screencast-O-Matic, which she used, and also Screencast-ify, because your students could turn around and do this too with a quick extension. And so we have tutorials for that walk you through step by step on how you can create a video just like this. I love it. Any questions for Carrie? And as I'm waiting, I just want to read a quick shout out from the parent perspective of a Stonewall kindergartner. We love the silly songs. This is from Heather. We end up listening to them all the time. Even the 3-year-old requests them. By the way, Connor wants to know what the next song will be. So Stonewall group, do you know what your next song is going to be?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, what? Go ahead, Hillary.
Oh, I was just going to say we're like on a roll, and then this social distancing has really put a damper on things. So we're trying to get creative, but if we were able to, we would crank one out, maybe 1 or 2 a week. So we're working on it.
Any other questions so far? Okay. Next up, I would like to introduce Miss Rebecca Martin, who teaches at Dunbar. And Rebecca, are you on?
Hi, yes I am.
Yay! I'm so glad you're here. My high school daughter, as soon as she heard this music playing as I was practicing earlier, she jumped in and got really excited. So let me just share with everybody.
Okay, Spanish 1, this is for you. Izquierda, derecha, delante, detrás, cerca, de lejos, de y algo más, debajo, arriba, enfrente, encima, y ahora, muchachos, se acaba la rima.
And I have to show the second one too.
Is a TikTok lesson truly complete without a dance? I don't know, you tell me. Just kidding, it's too late. To the left. Izquierda, derecha, delante, detrás, cerca, de lejos, de y algo más, debajo, arriba, enfrente, encima, y ahora, muchachos, se acaba la rima. I challenge you.
I love it, Rebecca. I hope you saw all the smiles going across the screen as we were playing this. It's awesome. Any other TikTok fans in the house? My middle, yeah, see, I'm seeing it. What a cool way to reach our kids. Whoever thought TikTok was so educational, but it is. Rebecca, tell us all about it.
Well, excuse me, I'm actually more embarrassed to share this with you guys than I am my students because they know how I act, but y'all don't. It actually started when one of my students asked me or challenged me and said, you should teach a lesson through TikTok, because I had already been on TikTok making videos, just like funny videos, because humor to me is calming in this time of like, what the heck is going to happen next? So I was like, okay, challenge accepted. I'll do it. But then you guys have to, oh yeah, Julie says she joined TikTok. So I had been on TikTok and I was like, this is fun. This is what they like and I like it. And so I was like, I'm just going to do it too and see if it works. And it did. And I had 3 students do the challenge, and watching those dances, oh my gosh, I was like, it was the highlight of my quarantine, was watching these quarantines dance. And it was only 3 of them, but you know what? Hopefully they'll send in some more later. I'm giving them some extra time.
I love it. So you're just using the TikTok app on a phone, correct?
That's it. Yeah.
No editing. And how are your students responding to the challenges?
They have been really positive, which is nice because they're not this positive in the classroom, but they say, I vibe to this. They said, I'm always on their For You page, which I'm like, okay, I can't see you face to face. I'll just totally invade your space on TikTok.
I love it. I love it. Rebecca, I'm going to put you on the spot with this question. So I get a lot of teachers who ask me, but can we, should we really be recommending TikTok? It's scary. And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so when I created the assignment, I made sure they knew I wasn't asking them to download TikTok. I wasn't asking them to use TikTok to make this challenge video. I said you could just use your camera on your phone and send it in. Cause yeah, you know, there's a lot out there on TikTok, and I'm using it how I want to use it, and hopefully my students are being respectful and responsible. Honestly, I feel better that I'm in there with them. I'm seeing, and they're like, oh, my Spanish teacher follows me. Maybe they won't post that throw it back video. I don't know. High schoolers are weird.
No, that was a perfect answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
For all of our elementary teachers, I wish I would have linked it earlier. I'm going to do it when this is over. So if you come back to this slide, I'm going to link a way that you can do a TikTok template with elementary students. So it's like they're in TikTok, but it's actually in Google Slides. So we can keep that locked down for our littles, that they can still have that experience. So this is awesome. Any questions for Rebecca? Thank you so much. I literally asked her to do this like 15 minutes before we started. So I'm so glad she jumped in. And thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So you need to challenge every teacher on here to do a TikTok video.
I challenge you.
I might take you up on that. Our next teacher is not physically with us today, but I did want to share Kelsey Davis's videos with you. She's an art teacher at Coventry Oak Elementary, and she teaches an art lesson every Thursday. So just a really quick little glimpse inside of this. They're usually—
Hey Super Scholars, it's Miss Davis, and in this lesson we are going to study symmetry as we create our very own kitchen butterfly sculptures. Something is symmetrical or has symmetry if it is the same.
So I know you're really intrigued, so everybody come back to this lesson and learn about symmetry. I have linked Miss Davis's website for you. So if you come to the COE Creates page, you can see all of her lessons. She does a live lesson every Thursday for her entire student population. And it looks like she just, sets up her phone. She uses iMovie to edit. So it's a really quick and easy way to teach a lesson from home. You don't have to go back in and edit and make this a production quality or a professional quality. Just teach, just like you do in the classroom. So she uses Google Slides to house all of her materials, and YouTube to house her videos. And YouTube, when you embed a YouTube video inside of Google Sites, it's the safest way to show YouTube videos to your students, especially the littles, because it takes out all of the ads, it takes out all of the pop-ups during a video, and it gets rid of those scary suggested videos at the end. So it's a great way to house your videos. Next we have Miss Erica Snow. Erica from Frederick Douglass. Are you still with us?
Yes, and really, you probably shouldn't play that video because the sound is terrible on it. I did a screencastify explaining how we use Flipgrid, and I put our Flipgrid in the comments. But if you want to play it, you can. I'm just warning you that the videos of the videos are kind of gross.
Okay, this was our Flipgrid that we made as an academy. So it had all of us do it. I'm going to show you my video.
It is giving a lot of feedback, isn't it? And I love what you did with this, Erica. So will you tell us about it? And then everybody, when you get time, click on this link and go watch the Flipgrids because they're phenomenal.
So we wanted a way to put videos out to our academy at Douglass, and it's fun that Carrie and I are both on here because we're both in the Flipgrid. But we, not all of the students have all of us, so I didn't want to do a long string of videos because if the student has me but doesn't have Carrie, they might not want to watch a message from Carrie. And so this was a way for us to get this out to our students, and they could kind of pick and choose what videos they wanted to watch. Our principal was on there, and they're just really cute little ways for us to say hi and tell them that we missed them. So I threw them out via my Canvas link so that everybody could see them.
I love it. I love that you use Flipgrid, which is another tool that Fayette County has access to, and it's free and powerful. And so do you have your students respond to your videos too?
So for this one, we did not. So after we finished recording, I shut it down because we were going to be putting it out on social media. I didn't want just any random person coming on and adding to our Flipgrid. But I have used Flipgrid in the classroom as well to like start discussions with my students. I'll throw out I teach math. So I'll throw out a math question and kind of ask, for them to throw it back to me and give me responses and that kind of thing. It's a great tool because the videos are it's really easy for a student to record a video in response.
I love it. And I loved all the things you said. You could lock them down where nobody can add when you want that capability, or you can leave it open to who you want. So many capabilities with that. And how have your students responded to this? Do they like it? Have you heard any feedback?
We haven't heard any feedback, but it's had almost 400 views. So I'm assuming that our students have watched it. I did have a couple of parents that I'm friends with on Facebook that were like, oh my gosh, my student loved this. Thank you so much for putting it together.
Love it.
And I linked the Flipgrid in the slide there.
Yeah, awesome. So the Flipgrid is linked here, as well as a tutorial. So a previous session on step-by-step how to use it. So I hope everybody will check that out. Any other questions so far? Okay, Mrs. Moore, are you on?
Yep, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Eric. Okay.
So can I, before you push play, can I explain? Okay. And I was, so it started with this video that she's going to play. I actually posted onto the parent page. Each group at SCAPA has a Facebook page. So I posted this onto the parent Facebook page and just said, I miss your kids. So this, if you'll play that one.
All right, kiddos. Day one, homeschool adventure. I already miss everybody. So I decided to share what I found, what I'm curious about on my learning walk.
Go out
I'm going to show you what I found because I'm pretty excited about it.
Dark.
Yes. Can you see it? Oops, just over here. Pretty cool find. So this is what I'm going to be learning about this week in my inquiry project. I'm going to figure out what this thing is, where it comes from, what it does. I'm seeing a lot of them outside when I'm walking around, so I know what it is. It's a lichen, and I be liking this lichen. So I'm going to be reading about it, see what I can find. I'll let you know.
So that line, I be liking this lichen, sort of became this thing. And all these parents were laughing about it, saying their kids watched it and laughed, and that they'd been, because that video was on that very first Monday when we all were totally unsure what was happening. So I never like to be filmed. I never like to have pictures taken. And I just had so many kids and families reach out that I was like, okay, I got to do this. Like, I got to get my face out there. So, and you don't have to show the looking for lichen, but I just started going for walks in my neighborhood and filming myself as I was walking and talking about what I was singing. I sing in the videos, and it just, and if you play this video here, this was one of the videos I got back from a kid like the second day.
I saw your video earlier where you're asking, does lichen just grow on trees? And I saw it growing on rocks. Well, now it's growing on the rope of my swing set. I'm really liking this lichen.
That's awesome.
So it just became a way. I mean, SCAPA has unique challenges in that we have so many creative kids and so many kids that are not being able to perform right now, who really needed emotional support and outlet in those areas. And you all have those kids among your student bodies too. So really my purpose was just to make them laugh, to engage them in going outside and looking around. And I talked to them a lot about the gift of time, and that maybe some things, the world was a little slower, and that was an adjustment to their brains and their bodies, but that allowed, some changes. And then, like Shad said, as the videos evolved, I could slip more topics in and put more content in. When the mask thing came out from Bashir, I did an episode where I wore my mask and just said, this is uncomfortable and it's weird, but here's some of the science behind why we're wearing these. And then, like Becca said, then it became a challenge thing. So on my YouTube channel now, if you would, the stinky face, or this one, it's the first one in the second row.
The shrinking face.
Yeah, a kid sent me this video of someone being a makeup artist, and they were like, "You could do this, Miss Moore." And so it's just been a way to engage and make kids laugh in a time that's. So I painted a new nose on my up here, and then that's my mouth, or I'm painted, so it's just silly.
I love
it. But so a lot of mine's just been to laugh and connect with the kids, and I'm actually have a dare right now to make a Broadway musical edition, so that should be exciting. But today I used TikTok, so Becca, I filmed all my bugs doing TikTok songs, so. But yeah, it's just been to connect and reach children in a time that they were sad. And I just put some quotes of different things that kids have said to me or their parents have said to me.
I love a couple of things. Number one, I like that you're not afraid to be goofy on camera, because we have to get over that. I'm the shyest person in the world, so I'm having to learn that myself. I love how you are connecting with them on an emotional level and making them want to laugh. They need that. And I also love how you're letting your students create videos. This is powerful. They have the tools. Most of them have the tools at home. It's a phone or a Chromebook. They can make these videos. And I'm so tired of explaining, how do I grade this multiple choice test, or how do I time them? Stop giving them multiple choice. Let them do a video or another creative project to show what they know. Sorry, I'll step off my soapbox, but just to let you know, this is awesome. These are all phenomenal. Any other questions for Mrs. Moore before we move on? We're almost there. I'm sorry. I know I've gone a little bit over our time today. I hope you'll hang with me. Almost to the end. Okay, so Mr. Jacobs and Mr. Royster and Mr. Schull could not be here today, but I did ask their permission to use their videos, because I love that our admin teams are getting on board as well. And having a daughter at Lafayette, I kind of get to see this as well. So the first week home, the kids were scared, they were frightened, they didn't know what to expect. And so they created this video, just kind of telling them what was going on. And I heard my daughter say, it's just nice to see them. It's nice to connect with them. So I won't have you watch.
All those questions have answers yet, but our role is to make sure we're communicating as much information as we have during the.
And they did. And so they've been sending home these weekly videos just to let them know what to expect. And I love that. And my kiddo really appreciates that connection, just seeing the face-to-face. Usually when you see your principal, it might be kind of scary, but this way she's getting to see him and feel comfortable and confident in what's going on. Another one is Mr. Royster has an incredible YouTube video, and a lot of his videos are really funny, but he really makes personal connections with the students. For example, this one is him baking in his.
Well, hey there, generals. Well, I tell you what, things sure have changed a little bit since I've seen you last. Hope you're doing your stay-at-home challenge. I got a stay-at-home challenge myself today. Today, I'm making.
And as I fast forward, he is literally, it's like his own little cooking show. And so this was great. We actually tried his recipe together. It encouraged my child to want to cook. And so we walked through step by step, use the phrase of rewindable learning, where if we missed a step, we could go back and do it again. And that's why videos are important. If you're teaching and your kids miss something, they can rewind, go back and do it again. And we use that daily, right? So their videos are to inform, inspire, and to make those personal connections. And the reaction from the students, I didn't get to ask them this question, but if you look at the bottom, you can see in 1 month, this video where they're just talking about what's going on with NTI has over 3,000 views. The one with his bearded dragon habitat, over 16,000 views. We're talking high school students watching their principals and associate principals' videos. So it is working. It's having a great impact. And let's see, our last presenter of the day, I think, is Mr. Joseph Wrightson from Brenda Cowan. Joseph, are you on?
Yep.
Awesome. Yay, thank you so much for joining us today. So I'll show a little bit of this and then I'll have you talk about it.
Hey, BCE of Albania. Now, I actually found some secrets that might help us better understand this donut. But today, we've got some exciting things. We've already been to Kentucky, and we've already been to Paraguay. Now, we get to go all the way to West Africa, to the country of Ghana. But of course, I love to start each and every day with our hello song. Join in with me. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello.
I love it. I hope you all will come back and watch this. He's going to get me because I kept playing it, but it's so much fun. Joseph, tell us all about your videos.
So at the beginning of the school year, I told all of my students just things about me, and one of the things that I dig deep in is donuts. I love donuts so much. So when we had all of these online videos and things to make, I wanted to find a way to connect each week's lessons together. Since I'm teaching general music, I only see the kids once a week. So I came up with this quest to find the lost donut of Albania. And to do that, we had to follow this map all around the world. And so it was pretty exciting because I could change the background on my videos and we could sing different songs from different countries. And it allowed us to get really creative for what type of music that we explored. And it was just a fun treasure hunt the entire time. So we eventually did find the lost donut. So it's now the found donut of Albania.
Love it. And what tools are you using to create your videos? They're so much fun. I hope everybody will come in and watch this entire lesson, by the way.
Well, I filmed everything on an iPhone. I do a lot of video editing in my spare time anyways, so I use Final Cut Pro, which is a step up from iMovie, but most of the things are just adding on the titles and transitions that already come with the software, so iMovie would be perfect for editing something like this. And I do a lot of drawing as well, so we'll read a children's book every single week that has to do with the country. And so we'll usually play a virtual music notation game at the end of the lesson that visually looks like the children's book. So it just has some connection throughout.
I love it. And then how are your students and families reacting to your videos?
They have really loved it. I had some students that decided to teach their younger siblings some of the songs. There was a lesson where we all made homemade kitchen instruments, and there were whole family bands that played along, which was really nice. I especially loved, we've got a diverse population at Brenda Cowan, and for one of our episodes we went to Japan, and one of the students who's from Japan messaged and said, "Oh my goodness, I loved this episode. I know this song, Hotarukoi." So I think that was really cool that somehow by coincidence he knew the song, but that the representation of all the different cultures I think was really meaningful to the parents and families.
Absolutely. They're so much fun. And I feel like you upload yours to your Google Drive, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So guys, that's a great way. If you don't feel comfortable putting your stuff on YouTube, especially, you can put them in your drive. Your drives are unlimited and it lets you share with who you want to share with. You can lock that down to just those in Fayette County, or you could open it wide open. So I'm glad that you did that as well. Yay. Anything else I missed, Mr. Joseph?
Yeah.
Okay. These are phenomenal. And so if you come to his slide, you can see other videos as well as his music class Flipgrid. These are phenomenal. What a great resource. So while you're thinking, if you have any questions, go ahead and type those in the chat box. Our presenters would gladly take questions. All of them are still here, I think. And in closing, I just wanted to share with you, these are easy video tools. Everything we mentioned today is great for you to use, but these 4 were mentioned a lot, and we have step-by-step tutorials on our FCPS page, so you can click and walk through step-by-step how to create any of these, and hopefully we can showcase a whole nother batch of Fayette County teachers in their videos really soon.